Welcome back to IGN Live at Gamescom 2018. It's time to take a look at a game that was just announced today. This is a fresh one. It's Desperados 3, and I'm joined by two of the gentlemen that are helping make the game. Guys, welcome to the IGN stage.
Thank you.
Desperados 3, the Desperados series, I'm sad to say I'm not familiar with it. However, I think it's a series I should look into, because you guys are the team behind Shadow Tactics, the real-time tactics ninja game, which is awesome. I really liked that game a lot.
Thanks.
Viewers out there, don't sleep on Shadow Tactics. And so Desperados 3 is sort of that style game in a Western setting, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Basically, Desperados is one of the games that actually influenced us when we made Shadow Tactics. It's one of those games that defined the genre together with Commandos back in the days. And so now we got the chance to do a new entry in that series. And it's a big honor, and we love this genre, and I hope we're doing it justice.
That's a really cool story. So Desperados goes back to 2000-ish, to early 2000s?
2001, yes.
Okay, yeah. So that's
17 years ago.
It's, this is a little bit of an older franchise. But, you know, I'm a big strategy gamer. I'm really happy to see these sorts of games, you know, starting to make a comeback. Must be very cool.
Yes.
So we're taking a look at gameplay here.
Yes.
Lay it out for us.
Basically, what's happening here is it's the second mission of the game, and we're just seeing some early gameplay, and you can see the guy walking in a trap, right? And it's a hardcore stealth game. So you try to remove enemies from enemy setups if they're seen by someone else, lure them out somehow with a whistle, make them step into that trap like this, and just take them out unseen. Because if you get spotted, it's bad. It's not what you want to happen.
So it's sort of level-based, and in each level you're going to have a sort of a different variety of objectives that you have to achieve.
Yeah.
We have different objectives as well as characters, which is very important for the genre, is that we switch the characters that you can use. There's 5 characters in the game, but you will never be able to play the same characters, so you have to rethink constantly because they have different skill sets. You have different objectives in the missions, which always keeps things fresh.
I see.
It's pretty good.
So for people who have played Desperados before, there's at least one returning character, right? Is it John Cooper?
Yes.
This is sort of like the main...
So there are actually 3 returning characters,
3 returning characters,
and 2 new ones that we came up with. So I hope should be a really good balance, like catering to the old fans and still have the creative freedom to create your own characters and have them engage with the old characters, which is super cool because then you can show a different side of the old characters.
So do the characters have different abilities and sort of offer different play styles?
Yeah, but the main hook is that you combine their abilities. It's not like focusing on one character and then play this play style, but combining their different skill sets. That makes it so unique and fresh.
So you always have all 5 characters?
No. You seldomly have all 5. Mostly it's 2 or 3. In the later stages you get 4, and sometimes you'll get all 5 as well. And this is what really keeps it fresh, is that you always have new combinations, right? In this mission, you're getting used to, let's say, John Cooper and how you play him, and then the next mission, he's gone, and you have to rethink the way you approach the game in each mission.
Well, so we just saw a fail state here because one of our characters died.
Yes.
So you need to keep everyone alive.
Yeah, if one of them dies, the mission is over.
Okay.
And if you sound the alarm, there's guards spawning, and stuff is getting crazy, so... You can still play then. The game is not over if you sound the alarm, but it gets a lot harder. Because the guards that spawn, they don't disappear. Like, the game is hardcore in that. They will stay, have new routines, and you have to figure that into your play. But it's not impossible.
I see. So what's the setup for the game here? What's sort of the story that's going to play out here?
We don't want to spoil too much today, actually. So it's kind of a sad thing. But I can't spoil it right now.
I mean,
really
what happens in this mission that you're seeing right now is that we're in this frontier town in the West, and basically there's a cliche Western thing is happening there. A railroad company is trying to build the railroad through there and just ripping houses apart and basically destroying the town. And what you're doing is that you're tasked with taking out the key figures of this in this city, so in this town. So there's 4 to 5 objectives, targets that you have to kill or knock out, depending on what you want to do. And that's basically the mission here. And this is just a part of the big plot, right? The big plot is not about that town. It's this mission is about the town, and the next one you will just progress through a bigger picture that we can't talk about yet.
You mentioned you can knock out your targets. Can you play through the whole game with, can you do a no-kill playthrough?
Sometimes you have to kill targets because story demands it, but usually you can defeat all missions without killing anyone, even though it might be extremely hard.
I see.
But we made it a bit more playable this time because you can tie them up and like hide them, and so if nobody spots them, they're out of the game, kind of.
I see. Well, there are a lot of characters on screen here. They're not all enemies, right? These are just people in the town.
Yeah, this is something that we actually added. It doesn't seem like much at first because you expect it to be in a game, but for this genre it is. There has never been something like this that we call civil zones, where you can actually run around town because you're not suspicious in the streets of that town. You can listen to dialogue like it's happening on screen right now, and there's listening to this dialogue, getting a hint on how you can take out someone by maybe finding a flask of poison that you wouldn't know about unless you didn't hear the hints. So we're kind of trying to add more richness to the world that you can just explore there, and also tackle all the setups from different angles, right? You can run around them and come from the back, from the left, from the right. It's up to you.
I see. So, from people that have played previous Desperados games, is there going to be a lot that they recognize here? Is this going to feel familiar? Even though it's been a while since the last one, this is going to feel familiar?
Yeah, that's our main goal, that feels familiar, but it's not the same game.
Sure.
Like, it's always this thing, there's this old classic, and you know, oh, it was so good, and then when you go back to it, you feel like, oh, it's kind of clunky and stuff, and we want to have it like, as you remember it, and play it like this, and you're like, it feels exactly like that, but it isn't actually. It's just like how we designed it to feel it like that. So that's a challenge.
Is it very different, sort of building up these levels in a Western setting than it was for Shadow Tactics? Like you have a whole different sort of weapon palette, right?
Yeah, the research is very different.
Yeah.
Like of course, with this one, we're not. It's more of a movie Western style. Right? It's not accurate Western times. There's more freedom than there was in Shadow Tactics regarding all the research stuff, but it's different. The principles are the same, but you just have to think about different stuff, like what can we do that makes it feel like a Western, right? And what can we do that makes it feel like a ninja game? So the approach is different.
Yeah. You described it as a hardcore stealth game. Yeah. Like what level of difficulty are you aiming for? Like, are there checkpoints throughout the mission that at least if you make it that far, you don't have to restart the whole mission again?
So the thing is that we always have quick save and quick load. So it's always up to you when you want to like retry something. So that still doesn't make it an easy game at all. So it's still hardcore, but this time we also want to have it a bit easier, to have it like for newcomers.
In the easy difficulty.
In the easy,
the normal and hard difficulties are going to be.
And we're going to have an extra hard difficulty because now maybe people played Shadow Tactics.
They now
kind of know what they're doing, and we really want to give them like a hard challenge from the beginning.
Interesting. So Shadow Tactics launched on PC first, and then came to console later. But with this one, you're aiming to hit all platforms at the same time. Is that right?
Yes. That's true. And I hope we do it.
It's a technical challenge, mostly.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm just more of a console gamer myself, but I love these types of strategy games, so that's very cool. All right, so what are we seeing here?
So right now we are approaching the one target in this playthrough that we're showing you. Her name is Wild March, and she sort of took over the brothel. She's one of the bosses the railroad company has hired to like thug around and keep everybody in line and stuff like that. And she took over the brothel, and you're trying to poison her right now. And there's a small bottle of laudanum that we can hardly see down there, and we're sort of trying to get to that.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Get the poison, and then poison the whiskey barrel that she gets her whiskey from, which is classic stealth game stuff, I guess.
Paying attention to the enemy's line of sight is very important, right?
Yeah, it's the main thing that you're doing. Like, it is a game where you need patience. You're going to watch the setups, you're going to analyze where the weak spots are, and then you're going to try something, because in always quick save and quick load, and that's important to us, that you can just, as we're seeing right now, you can just try something. You're not getting punished for trying creative solutions. So this is what you do, and then you just take out the guys that are not in the enemy vision.
So we're seeing sort of an old Western town here. What sort of other environments are you working on?
So we kind of have three stages, I guess. One is starting like in Colorado. We have canyons and forests and like some trains and stuff like this. And then we want to move to Louisiana, where you have like swamp levels and even like large cities, which is super cool, like cities you wouldn't expect in a classic Western. And then we go full-on spaghetti Western, go into the Red Canyons, New Mexico, and have this like classic feeling.
Yeah. What about for the soundtrack? Are you going for sort of a spaghetti Western soundtrack?
Also the mix. For us, it's like there's this new type of Western right now, and there's the classic Western, and for us it's like we like both, and we try to get like our thing out of it.
Okay.
So there's a lot of this level is very classical Western, but we try to get a lot from the style and the visuals from the modern Westerns. Like but the vibe is it's more fun. It's not as gritty as some of the modern Westerns. It's fun.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of fun, in your trailer, I think there's a scene where a black cat is used to sort of take out an enemy. Yeah. Is that something you can actually do in the game? Or is that?
Might be.
We
cannot talk about that character, sadly, because it's the one unannounced. It's going to be incredibly cool, but
okay.
It's the game changer, I would say.
That would be a game changer for me.
It is the one thing where we really pushed it. Like, there's a lot of stuff in there that if you know Shadow Tactics, you will know how to use it because you want it to feel at home in the game. You want it to be true to the genre. But there's also stuff where we're pushing it, and that character is
wow. Well, that's Desperados 3. I think it looks super cool. This is coming next year.
Yes.
The 2019 game?
Summer next year.
Summer next year. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to play it. This is right up my alley.
Awesome.
And I'm super excited that you guys are aiming to hit consoles at the same time as PC release. So, guys, thank you so much for coming by the Edge stage.
Thank you.
That was Desperados 3. Stay tuned. More to come from Gamescom 2018 right here on IGN Live.